Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I'm going to talk today about the death blow to the dollar. As a matter of fact, it's the petrodollar we're going to talk about. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, and sorry guys if the wind's too noisy here, it's just all of a sudden started kicking up when I'm making this video. Other than that, it's a beautiful day. Vladimir Putin just announced a deal with China to supply China and expand their Far East oil their supply chain for oil. It's a deal worth about $117 billion. Now, this isn't the first time that China and Russia have inked a deal for oil, but I want to talk about how this is the death blow. You see, remember when I covered the story in August about how Saudi Arabia inked a historic deal with Russia for a trade for oil, and it was in their own currency outside of the dollar, and it happened literally almost to the week, 50 years after we had signed that deal with Saudi Arabia. And I said this was the beginning of the end for the petrodollar. And we're going to talk about why it's such a big deal, okay, for us, because we are not going to collapse. We are collapsing right now as we speak, okay? So Russia is already Beijing's third largest gas supplier, okay? And I apologize, it's not only oil, it's an oil and gas deal. But they've been strengthening ties with China, which is the world's largest energy consumer, okay? Reducing its dependence on traditional European energy customers, okay? So this is a big deal. This is also not in dollars, okay? We have two of the world's largest superpowers that have combined, and they are trading with each other outside of the dollar, and we're gonna go over why that's a big deal. So the biggest thing I want to say is this is a 25-year deal that's been inked between China and Russia. So it's not their first, and it's not going to be their last, but what's very important, very telling, it's a long-lasting agreement, 25-year agreement between the two countries for Russia to supply China with oil and gas. Now, the reason why it's a big deal outside of the dollar is because people don't understand how we export our inflation, all right? Regardless if you agree with it or not, quite frankly, I do not, but we made it sort of a law, let's say, and I say sort of, okay, because it's backed with the full faith and confidence that the US will actually do something about it. And in the past, they have with countries through sanctioning and things like that. But what happens is they turn around and they say, you can only use dollars to buy, let's say China wants to buy oil from Russia, they are forced to go and buy the dollars, whether it be through bonds or other means necessary, but it has to be denominated in dollars, and they would go and spend those dollars with Russia to buy the gas or oil. You see, that created a massive demand over the last 40, 50 years for the US dollar notes, treasuries, whatever. Point being is that demand is fading very fast. And when I say very fast, I'm actually talking over the course of 15 years. You see, countries have started to circumvent the US dollar. And we saw that over the last few conflicts in the world that we are going to defend that. But right now we are seeing death blows since August that are saying we're going to go outside the dollar. And I want people to understand this isn't like when things are going to collapse. I believe a fool is looking for a date of collapse. A wise man sees the seasons. And this is the season that the dollar is losing value. Now, we get that the dollar looks very good in relation to other currencies around the world. That's because they're all collapsing in value, right? And it's very important to realize and understand that. So what is going to happen? What can you do from this? Well, understanding what's going on is the first step, right? To, the wisdom, right? The wisdom part comes out when you go, what do I do with this information? Well, understanding that if the dollar starts to continually lose value, it's already started, but it's losing value and value more and more, right? That's why inflation's getting worse in our country. It's one solid reason. Well, then we need to get outside of the dollar, and that's very, very important. A lot of people have chosen Bitcoin or gold or silver or real estate as their weapon of choice. I, quite frankly, and this isn't financial advice, I like to do it all, right? Because you just don't know which one's going to pop, shoot upwards, or which one's going to pop and go down. And this is a crazy time in our world because literally all of the currencies are imploding and being destroyed because of massive money printing. And you know this because everything's costing more. Inflation is across the board. It'd be one thing if we just saw fuel inflating, right? Because of a supply chain issue or demand. Or if we just saw, real estate inflating. But we're actually seeing everything from food to lumber to everything going up in value. And that means the currency is actually failing. So what I would suggest doing is being diversified. And also, it sounds crazy, but you still need to have a cash position, because as things start to pop, since cash is used to buy everything, wherever country you are, that's the medium of, you know, that's during a deflationary burst, that's when you go and buy things and get the great deal. So literally having a diverse mix of everything might be the suggestion. But again, you know what? I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. I wouldn't listen to me. With that being said, I just want to bring you that information. I'm going to link an article, hopefully to bring some more substance to this video. But the bubble is popping, guys, in currencies. And the petrodollar especially is losing value because more and more countries are going against it. And when you have the two largest superpowers next to us going, heck with you guys, we're going outside of your dollar, are we going to defend it? We'll see. The Economic Ninja is out.